Look, there are a lot of them behind the gate, waiting for the time to purchase ticket, and I'm very encouraged with what I've seen so far in relation to the stand. But for the game in proper, there's all to play for. This game has a lot of dynamic. As you indicated, Adriana beat Gold Star by 2-1. What that means is that Medeama, this is their most difficult and the game that should be most important and crucial to them, because Medeama must win this game. Then, when they win this game, their title hopes will be alive. If they don't, trust me, the title hopes will be over because of the outcome of the games that are for Gold Stars and Medeama. Medeama next week will be going to Brekum Chelsea. Brekum Chelsea today might lose or draw in Samaraboy. Then you have Medeama going to Chelsea. You know what that means. And then Gold Stars hosting Samatex.
Of course, and there's a lot of dynamics within this Ghana Premier League, the last 6 games. But let's look at what happened on Friday. Adriana Gold Stars, it was a big one at the Nanajima Bedu Park. I mean, the first half was a bit flat. Second half really came to life when Shivanyo scored that opener for Adriana. Then, I mean, Gold Stars found the way of coming back through Sanu. But then, in the dying embers of the game, that is where Mafo slotted that penalty in. It was a huge win for Adriana, and a win that has a direct link to what will happen here today.
Yes, I mean, look, that for me, goalkeeper Emmanuel Kobe, Bernard Kersey, Anaba, Filippo Fol. Look, these guys played a very determined game. Gold Star played a determined game because they knew that, look, they can get something out of that game that will keep their hopes of winning the league title, retain the league title very alive. So they put in everything. Look, when even Razak Sanu came, he had an opportunity 1v1. When Alex Bachi slipped, he had an opportunity 1v1, but he failed to utilize. If that goal had been scored, it would have been a different thing. But Chivanyo scored, and then Razak Sanu...
Yeah, it looks like just when Gold Stars equalized, and then the game opened up a bit. They had loads of chances, and they could have easily won that one.
Yes, I mean a lot of chances. Look, Gideon Abba passed. He could have passed very well to Razak Sanu, but he failed to pass in time. So Razak Sanu moved ahead of the ball. And then the moment came, the dying best of the Adriana started struggling a bit. By the dying best of the game, they had opportunity. And then unfortunately, Kelvin upon, I mean, sometimes you have to be very intelligent. At that moment, he made a little mistake, and because he lacked the needed experience, if I think I was the one playing at that time, he wouldn't have done that. That is sometimes how you pay the price for not having experience. And then Imanamafo was called upon, and you know that he's been struggling getting goals all season. 7 goals. He needed to add the 8th one, and he slotted at the back of the net. And that ended 2-1 in favor of Adriana Star. Now, by that, what it means is that Medeama must at all costs win today's game.
If they want to get back on top of the table.
If they want to get back and have the dreams and ambition of winning the league title again.
It's like we've gotten to that point where you need favors from other teams to actually find your way. Even the relegation battle, teams still need others to do them a favor.
Yes.
And I'm sure Medeama will be laughing or smiling that, oh, well, Adriana have done us a favor. So let's get the job done here.
It's sometimes very difficult. Sometimes, if you are not careful, that match might be a more difficult game. But what you need to do, look, today's game, Medeama, is about the players. The players must understand that, listen, when we win the league, there are 5 players that have been retained from 2023 league title. When we win the league, we go to Africa. We are the one that are going to play the qualifiers and, if possible, play in the Champions League. Our value, we appreciate. We have won a title. The CV of a player, most important CV is title. So the players must understand that on the evidence of this, we need to give out our best today. Today's not about Kotanko. He's won a title as a player. But as players today, they need to make sure that if they want to hold that title, touch it, they need to play above themselves. They've been lackadaisical and inconsistent in recent times.
These are where kings are made. It's going to be an interesting and a fascinating game between Medeama and Asante Kotoko here at the CNA Stadium. Just a few moments ago, the warm-up was being done. Medeama are back to the dressing room, ready for the game. Let's take a quick breather. When we return, there's more to talk about.
In the heart of Ghana, a nation rich with natural resources and vibrant culture, lies the Ghana National
Look at the lineup of Medeama. I mean, that's the usual lineup. Felix Che, Fatal on the left. You are seeing Yaosei. You also have Yusuf Mubarak is back because in the game against Bechem, it was Rick Saki that played. Yusuf is back. Yusuf Mubarak, Jacob Mensah. So that's their constant back four. You have Jack Pasu, and then you also have Fuzi Abdullah. They playing left and right. Then you have Salim and Manuel Mante. So up front you have Kelvin, and of course the reason why Kelvin has been consistent in recent time. And so if you look at their lineup, it's an lineup of attack. Abdul Salam is in. He works a lot. He's able to make sure he controls the game very well. And you expect a lot more from Kelvin Obi, who is the main instinctive striker. Kotoko are a bit defensive, and they might use counter-attack in today's game if you look at the lineup that the coach has come out with.
We'll come back to the lineup, but this is a game that has produced a lot of goals. The first leg of this fixture ended remember, Medeama took a 2-0 lead. Kotoko had to come back, fight, and he ended 2-2.
Was 5th minute volley.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then you see Mubarak converted a wonderful penalty. The Kotoko come back. Peter Bidu Wakwa, superb equalizer. But the moment of silence for Medeama was when Samba O'Neill rose above everybody, 95th minute, and another in the equalizer. What a time to equalize, and then the final whistle was blown.
Yeah, it was Derek Fojo that opened the scoring. Then they had a penalty, stepped up to convert to make it 2-0. But Asante Kotoko had to fight hard. Now, this young chap, Prince Owusu, was instrumental in the first half of the season for Medeama. But these days, he doesn't play a lot.
Yeah, he normally comes for the bench. Look, I remember the game against Young Apostle. He scored one of the 3 goals. He, Fuzi, and Kamal Dimamudu. Since then, he's not been having regular positions. It's about how well you work at the training ground to catch the eye of the coach based on your performance. So I hope that when given opportunity in the second half, you can do something.
Of course, Asante Kotoko fought back bravely to get that equalizer. Then that was, the young chap who got the equalizer for them. Yes. Today he's on the bench, and I'm asking myself, he was also instrumental for Asante Kotoko in the first 16 games in the season.
Well, there are games that he couldn't play. Yeah, he's not been consistent, but anytime he plays and he has his game on, he plays so well. He's the guy that creates opportunities. He runs our defenders. He tries to dug in and out. He's always pushing the ball to his colleagues. If Inusa is the one playing Abetama or Donzo, he does a lot of work. The only problem I have consistently is that he loses the ball sometimes so cheaply where it matters most. That's the problem. But he's the most forceful, quick, and aggressive player that works a lot up front than any Kotoko player this season.
There's been a lot of changes to the lineup that played the first leg as compared to what is with the second leg. Let's start with Asante Kotoko. Even in their midfield, the young chap Lawson is starting today, and it looks like Samba O'Neill would be also starting in the midfield in the absence of Prince Badu.
Well, I think if I want to go into the mind of the coach, Lawson this is a big game. It's a risk he's taking. It might work, it might not work, depending on how well he fares. And then you need an experienced player in Samba O'Neill to guide and protect him, and also make sure that pivot, he holds up play very well so that Medeama does not overrun them. Medeama are one of the teams that are very good midfielders. And if you look at the midfield today, you realize that there's Manuel Mante there, there's Fuzi there, there's God knows Jakpaso there, there's Salam there. So you need Samba O'Neill who will be tough, very rugged, very disciplined, and also will put in the tackles that are needed to make sure that he provide a shield for Lawson. Hubert Jewu will be there. Hubert Jewu will be supplying the ball to Saka Dauda, Morofin Dozo, and Dogo. You understand me? So you need a Samba there because Prince Bedu is not playing. So you need Samba O'Neill. This is not the first time I've used him there. But how long will he be able to play consistently at the DM when you are coming out of a team that is attacking, that are creative, will force Samba out of position many times? This is not a center position where he's calm, cool, and intelligent, reads the game and going for a tackle. This is why his anticipation, awareness, and tackle and interception will be very crucial. How long will he be able to do that? Because he's not a consistent player there.
Now, there's no Albert Amwa in today's game for Asante Kotoko, but there's a certain Morfin Donzo who has not really found the scoring boost since coming to Asante Kotoko. This is an opportunity for him to prove himself worthy to the Kotoko faithfuls.
Of course. I mean, the front three, the Saka Dauda, Morofin Donzo, and Dogu, is the same front three against Gold Stars. Now that day you realize that Morofin was running at Ibrahim Rafi, who was playing the right back for Gold Star at that time. He was running at him. And you also have a situation whereby Morofin Donzo struck the ball. He struck the ball twice for goalkeeper Manakobi, and then Dogo also did the same. So when they play, they seem to have a certain level of chemistry when Dogo and Morofin plays and Dauda Saka. So it's going to be very interesting how Fatau, how Yaose, how Yusuf Mubarak and Jacob Mensah, how they handle their movement. Their movement is always very, very quick. How they handle their movement and how Hubert will be able to locate them, will locate their movement with good supplies.
Of course, and the teams are here at the TNA Stadium. This is how Medeama got to the venue. There you see their players very determined to make a mark today. The prize for them is not just 3 points, but getting back on top of the Ghana Premier League table. Prince Owusu, he's been with the Black Stars in recent times. He's also here. Then you have the jerseys neatly arranged in the dressing room, the likes of Nkrumah Bafo or in the Emmanuel Owusu, Prince Owusu, Fuzi Taylor, or available for this game. So it's going to be a big one. But let's wrap this up. But first, in 45 minutes, how do you see this one going?
Well, I mean, if the Medeama who needs the 3 point most, if the players are determined and they are quick and they decide to go all out, they might end up leading by a goal to in the first 45 minutes.
Of course, first 45 minutes about to start. That is Asante Kotoko, how they also made their way to the TNA Stadium. Aziz Dari will be starting in post ahead of Kamara. Though Kamara is back, it is Dari who has been trusted by Coach Prince Yaosu to start this game. Today, there's no Prince Badu in there, so we are likely to see Samba O'Neill step in as the defensive shoulder. That is the dressing room of Asante Kotoko. You have their jerseys also neatly arranged there. Aziz Dari, number 1, and will be in post for them. The likes of Yakubu Dogo or in the Kote, ever since he returned from injury, has been one of the standout performers for Asante Kotoko as a right back. So it's going to be an interesting one here. The teams are ready in the tunnel, ready to come back and do a battle. So I hand you over to our team of commentators, Benjamin Willie Graham and Kelvin Osuansa. Enjoy the first 45 minutes.
And so they say pure gold lies deep within the earth, and greatness rises boldly above the skies of Takwa. It's 3 p.m. here, and the skies of TNA is ready to host us in a very exciting game here in the Western region, where the skies hold their breath as match week 29 of the Ghana Premier League is set to deliver a clash that is worthy of a stage. Once again, good afternoon and welcome to the gold-plated match between Medeama SC and Asante Kotoko. This is a penultimate game, obviously, to define the Premier League title in terms of who is placed to win the Premier League this season. It is Gold Stars who lost their match against Ghana Stars last Friday, and so this stage has been well rehearsed and well poised and put together in a well-measured pitch with all the lipstick lines drawn. This is a match that you can't afford to miss. Medeama SC and Asante Kotoko.
There's always been an interesting fixture. The two teams do not want to succumb to any. Kotoko obviously with a dominant hand when it comes to the TNA. But judging from the last result they recorded at the Barbara Sports Stadium, they need to quickly make amends, and they try to do that against a side that is eager to win the championship. A number of fairy tales surrounding this game, and obviously the winner continues to have the bragging right over the other.
Well, 50 points and just a point behind Gold Stars. The Mauve and Yellow have actually enjoyed some bit of a difficult run in the Premier League, only managing the last 8 games, 4 draws and 3 defeats. Their most recent outing was a draw with Bechem United, required a late equalizer to salvage a point there. So now they walk into this game. Asante Kotoko having a reign of match against Samatex, and the match was played the following day, where at home they lost by a goal to 2 to Samatex, something that dramatically changes the complexion of Asante Kotoko's journey in the Premier League. But in their red outfit, welcoming the Mauve and team here in Takwa, everything changes, and that is not Fred anyway.
Well, obviously, the Porcupines haven't had a smooth season, from technical team to players getting injured to the recent happenings within the club, and as much as results have been recorded, it's always difficult, but Medeama would want to take advantage of that.
keep the same back line as Medeama SC. Make 2 changes there, except to say that Risaki is out for Mubarak Yusuf. And also up front, you have Kingsley Brahe, who is not part of the team today, and it's Abdul Salam who's starting his place.
The former Kumasi Asante Kotoko player, captain of the team, marshals the defense well, and he's back into the team. Obviously, you expect him to start. Abdul Salam with the strength, supposed to bundle it out with the defender. So Kelvin Obey will pick up the pieces. Unfortunately, for Kingsley Brahe suspension, which means Mano Mante and then Salim Adams as well as Japasu will need to be at their creative best.
So be at their creative best there for Medeama SC. Certainly, Mubarak, you see very much experience in the Ghana Premier League and comes along with Samba O'Neill. Match officials for today's game is led by Gideon Ni Kofi, and he's going to be assisted there by Roland Ni Doduadi and Theophilus Akugri. The fourth official being Rita in Kansa Boateng. I tell you what, is Azamiti Alexander Kwesi is the match commissioner for today's game, but the 2 captains, some bit of a twist of fortune there for Asante Kotoko and how they want to approach this game. Which the head coach of the side, Prince Yausu, he's spoken extensively about the game and says that the fight is far from over with Asante Kotoko walking onto this pitch there. But the interesting bit for Asante Kotoko is that they have ringed in 6 changes from the team that got defeated by Samatex. And so conspicuously missing from the side is Albert Amwa, who's walked off the pitch with an injury there. Baba Yaya, Albert Amwa, Prince Asiedu or Patrick Asiedu, and Hamzata Musa, as well as Peter Miduakwa and Prince Bedu. All of them, Adam Inusa, have been put on the ice. They're on the bench, not starting today's game. And you have the loss of Yakubu Dogo, Morfin Donsu, Saka Dauda, Joseph Amo, all of them coming into this game.
That's quite a lineup that lacks fluidity at the back. Strength and aggression is what they would have. And how would they deal with the brilliance of players like Kelvin Obey and Japasu who like to go on the front foot? Well, they'll trust Chaimenu to do a bit more of quality distribution.
Yeah, Ibrahim Tanko spoke extensively again about their setup and why the players need to be very much in their groove there against Asante Kotoko, who themselves have their fans walking into this pitch. They're very much also looking into what they can do today to pick up a win. There's been a lot of talk about them, and also to find out that Hartlepool got beaten by Vision FC. And so the 2 top teams in the Premier League not really getting things easy, are they?
Well, it's been a battle for them, and quite, a season where most of the top teams, they've seen lots of changes happening at the very top, including the top 4, and Kotoko and Hartlepool themselves have fallen off the pieces. They could have probably been at the very top if they had maintained their consistency, and that is what continues to riddles and with the fans failing to have answers in. But these are the kinds of games fans want you to win for them.
Asante Kotoko making some tactical changes there, where Samba O'Neill is going to be the holding midfielder today, not the centre-back as expected. Henry Ansu comes in, slotting into his usual centre-back position with Fuseni Zakaria partnering him up at the back there. But Samba O'Neill sitting right in front of them and getting support there from Hubert Jehu and Che Menu. A bit of a surprise change there, because Seth Kojon usually would have to play in that role, but Che Menu is going to be the new fit in that role.
I think he's looking more at a 3-4-3 system when they are defending, to make it a 5-back, when Samba slots in between Zakaria and then that is Henry Ansu. But when they are attacking or in the build-up mode, Samba steps into midfield to provide some steal for Lawson Chaimenu Jr., the 17-year-old youngster who's had a number of cameos. They trust his distribution, and as usual, the best midfielder they've had this season is in Hubert Joe. Quite surprising that Dogo and then that is the Morfin Donzo have gotten the edge over the other players in Peter Midwakwa, Babayaya to start the game. But this is an away game. They would want to at least get a point and not lose the game.
Well, there's a talking point about Asante Kotoko and how they have not been one of the top sides in the Premier League this season. At least they started pretty well, but got themselves a bit broken up by some of the teams they did play against. And Kelvin Obeng starts his 4th game for Medeama after joining them in the January window. He scored 2 goals and 2 out of his 3 starts, scoring against 11 Wonders and Hoa United, all at the TNA Park there, and he's starting today as well.
Well, and that is what you would want to see from coaches, players whom they can trust to deliver and do justice to the decisions they make on and off the training field. And let's hope the faith that has been entrusted in them would be dignified.
Yeah, a while ago, you did see Aziz Dari. He's maintaining his post in the build-up there for Asante Kotoko. And quickly, Medeama would want to win possession back from the Porcupine Warriors. And the left full back possession, Joseph Farmer trying to ensure that at least he keeps his place. Asante Kotoko. Well, you talk about the coach for Medeama SC, Ibrahim Tanko, speaking about either side, trying to maintain some bit of steel and keeping possession. And they always have Salim Adams there. Always looking forward to Salam. They're able to get to him. Kote here being chased by Medeama SC, and again losing possession. Kotoko will have Samba O'Neill in his newfound role. Morphine Donsu is the target man out front there. But Che would have to pick it up here for Medeama.
It was quite intelligent play there from Emmanuel Kote. Picking up Zakaria Husseini, who equally found Samba. Kotoko would have to deal with the high press from Medeama. It's quite relentless, especially when you have Kelvin Obey and Abdul Samed in that attack.
Again, a little bit of a slip there, and Che was off his line. Well, I tell you what, Salim Adams just giving the ball away, and this man, the centre-back, who's not been slotted into a midfield role, nearly caught them on the break. And that's the first attempt here by Asante Kotoko. Very casual from Salim. Very unusual from him as well.
That is the extra quality Kotoko have with Samba whenever he steps into that midfield. He's actually going to pickpocket a lot more on the lackadaisical approach with which Fuzi Taylor and Salim play.
Here comes Salam. Medeama on the offensive. Jabasu bit into it. It's going to be a little bit physical in midfield. And Fatau Suleimana finds space in Salam. Back to Suleimana. Gets the ball into the box. Asante Kotoko recovers quickly. Samba O'Neill now decides to calm the nerves of his players and beginning to show the ball quickly among themselves. Kote here. The right back position. Samba quickly finds space and switching play down to the right hand side, the left hand side. And here they go again, the Porcupine Warriors. Always trying to keep some of the momentum in the game. Hubert Jeu back to Amwa. And here Asante Kotoko, just about 3 minutes or so into the game, and they seem to be having some bit of a lion's share in possession. For now, just temporarily. Medeama back again, trying to win it back. Asante Kotoko having difficulties in the winner set piece.
Kotoko feel more comfortable, and that was a knock there right on the head of Saka Dauda. He actually forcing Medeama to be making mistakes. Ordinarily, you would expect them as the home team to be much more settled and keep calm. Kotoko, surprisingly, they're not identifying the number of changes affecting them. Virtually no flaws, but it's early days yet in the game, and this is a set piece they can take advantage of to break the deadlock.
Well, the potency of Medeama can always be looked at. They've scored an impressive 37 goals, and they have conceded just 20 in 28 matches. At home, they have been relatively very solid, recording 9 wins and 4 draws, and just 14 defeats. And Asante Kotoko may want to see if they can break that. But it's Saka Dauda and Laxova Amwa just behind the ball there. You leave that one to who to take it? Very few, but it is there for Asante Kotoko's perspective. Henry Antu there with that feeble shot there for Asante Kotoko.
That was a terrible drive. He envisaged going with a lot more power. That was a miscue, off target, and you don't misplace such glorious opportunities. If Salim gets that on the opposite end, Aziz Dari needs to be at his top quality best to save it.
Okay, but I need to tell you something about Medeama. Asante Kotoko clashes here. The TNA back handball against Medeama SC's Fuzi Taylor. It was instrumental for the side against Bechem United. So to say that the team didn't really come into the party early against Bechem and had to settle for a draw. Hubert Jeu. I was looking for Manuel Mate. Keeps his space in the lineup here for Medeama. There's been talk about the team sometimes not able to come out in the numbers, especially when they're playing at home, and reason they haven't been that active in terms of picking almost all the 3 points. Asante Kotoko once again will have to pick up yet another set piece which goes against them.
That's the youngster Lawson Chaimenu. So the physical demands of this game, he's been doing quite decent for the U team. There's a lot of faith trusted in him to play today. Such a high intense game.
There we are too for Asante Kotoko. Always going for Amwa. Chaimenu Lawson. Oh, lovely switch up play now. Not able to pick it up there, Manuel Cote. Not too sure he was really looking for that pass, was he?
I think Dogo relaxed. He wasn't expecting that switch of play to the right-hand side. He got his calculation wrong.
Zakaria. And again, it's Salim here, but it's going to be as Adari's ball. And he picks it up there for Asante Kotoko yet again. Medeama would probably want to have an injury concern.
To me, that was a collision there. It was always going to be the goalkeeper first away. Zakaria Husseini tried to shield his goalkeeper and prevent any on-Russian attacker. Unfortunately, he couldn't fill up that space. And thankfully for Kotoko, they have the return of Kamara after his suspension. So that'll be good enough. So Henry Ento, looks like there's no contact with Dari. He might have hurt himself. So that was quite a bounce off.
Yeah, they do have Kamara still warming himself on the bench there for Asante Kotoko after coming out of that suspension. And you have the UMAT students also working in their numbers, just as Asante Kotoko may say they have the Porcupine tertiary, maybe Medeama tertiary here, isn't it?
Oh, very vibrant body. Maybe lots of attention has not been given them, but when you come to the TNA Stadium, they are the voice, and you can feel them. Vibrancy. Looks like they come from the chamber mind hall. Yeah. More like the chamber mind hall, that's where they come from. More like a lot more of the Porcupine tertiary come from a combination of Katanga and then Unity Hall.
Sulemana. It's Kelvin Obeng really got Zakaria to beat there, and so somebody get a throw in. The attempt by Medeama SC to make sure that at least they have the players back in the 18-yard box. But I would just want to tell you something, Kelvin, that the Asante Kotoko Medeama clash really have been a very interesting setup. There are 5 home games there for Medeama against Kotoko. 3 of those matches have been a draw. And I tell you what, 2 have been a defeat against Medeama at home. And so they are looking to change that narrative anytime they're home against Asante Kotoko.
And that is what is clearly their problem here. Especially this season, they've dropped points in games. You wouldn't expect them to drop points. That Hoho United loss was quite a surprise for many. The Team United managed to pick up a point here. Same as Samatex, and these are matches Medeama dominated. Their problem has been their inability to convert the numerous opportunities they create in the final third. And that is what wins games, if you are not able to outscore your opponent.
Here comes Sulemana, got a pass there from Salim Adams. Looking to advertise something into the box there. Medeama looking for a lot of spaces. Manuel Mate dropped the ball down. Sulemana used to pick this one. And you're in the left full back position has been really working out for Medeama. It's a good block there from Kote. But again, it was a very intelligent play there from Salim Adams.
Kote has a lot to deal with. The Moravian rounds of Fatal Suleiman are going to cause a lot of trouble. Yakubu Dogo would need to double up in helping him defend the right-hand side of the defense. But Fatah will never stop running. He's going to keep punching those loose ends in Kotoko's right back position. Kote may be an excellent player going forward, but defensively, he has lots of liabilities.
First corner kick of the day going straight to the home side. Medeama SC behind the ball here. Just looking to see how they can get the rhythm up. Kotoko need to defend the corner kick here. Ball whipped into the far post once again. Dari is in. Returning to the box once again. The ball had really got off the line. Again, a bit of a hesitation there from Dari, whether to go back in or stay back in his post. And it was really not going to work out for Jacob Amu to bring the ball back into the game.
He read the situation and didn't want to take chances. But how do they allow Amu to break free? I think that the captain of the team, Samba O'Neill, would have been blamed if Amu had lawfully gotten the ball back in play.
No session board out here for Sakadauda to pick it up. He's really been on the periphery for a very long time, Sakadauda.
A lot was expected of him joining Kotoko from before Kwatano, but he hasn't really glittered.
Amwa. looking to get one into the box. Again, a very poor cross there for him, but gets a corner kick. A little bit of a deflection coming through. And that came off for Yao Sei.
Good offensive work there coming in. Continue. Brahim Tanko thinking about how his team is going to be a bit stable with regards to controlling the game. The opening minutes clearly not giving him that promise he expected from his team.
Sakadalda behind the ball here for Asante Kotoko. Was looking to the likes of Samba O'Neill, who can really score from that angle there. Thought he was pulled from behind. Samba O'Neill, a possession back to Asante Kotoko. And an extension of the air ball there, and so it's going to be a foul against Che Menu, the youngster.
Most clearly, he felt that was a decent challenge. But Lawson is being called. The official, that was a poor touch from him. I think the extension of the arm. The officials always tell you, once you extend your arm, you give them less room to allow you to go scot-free.
Yet again, it's still goalless. Another similar foul in just succession. Shetagan, the referee Gideon Lee Kofi is trying to tell the players. And Asante Kotoko need to find a way to defend this. Medeama have a lot of their fans walking onto the TNA Park, a newly refurbished or reconstructed stadium, the home grounds for Medeama AC. Kotoko would always have to defend this one. And once again, you talk about Salim Adams and fancying a long drive. He's got some very cracking goals from similar positions. He's got behind the ball there, Fuzi Taylor, Salim Adams, and that over Tao Sulemana.
Clearly, these are players who have that ability. If Fuzi is going to go for it, it means he's going to go for an in-swinger. Salim is going to go direct. Fatau from this distance can also decide to go, but it's a bit far away.
Salim here strikes one. And I guess not lucky this time, Salim Adams.
It was always rising, he could have done better. So the technique, hitting it with the laces, trying to go for a swing and a climb as the ball moved towards the goalpost, but just looked like the outside, the edge of the outside foot hitting that ball.
Zakaria back to the defensive line once again. Sometimes you talk about the changes of Asante Kotoko and their defensive abilities, and as they try to find space. And again, Sulemana, bit of a standing very tall. Dogo missing the ball. Kotoko recycling Dogo once again in the box here. Going to be a foul.
That's quite poor decision there from Dogo Yakubu. He did not read his surroundings. He was just interested in going for the volley. Once again, a stitch in time. Saving Medeama. Jacobamu read the situation well. It was just at the right leap to get the ball away. So quite surprising, Dogo Yakubu couldn't identify his surrounding.
Yeah, you talk about the goalkeeper there, Felix Che, for Medeama AC. Very exciting young goalkeeper for the side. He's making his 15th appearance. And Manuel Mate! Oh! It is Medeama AC! Manuel Mate makes it 1-0 for the home side. Not expecting that, but Manuel Mate will be pretty much excited. That was a wicked deflection then. Medeama wouldn't mind, and Manuel Mate can celebrate. Medeama 1, Kotoko 0.
Exactly what they were looking for. Was just looking for the drive. And look at somebody complaining that should have been a foul. And they picked it up, Manuel Mate, and it came right off the shoulder. This man there, Kelvin Obey, in between himself and Antu. There's no way Jerry could have anything on that. Henry Antu, wicked deflection. And Medeama would be happy getting a goal against the round of play. These are the moments you need to take your chances, and Mano Mante has picked up his moment.
Well, Mano Mate has actually sparked the entire TNA park here with that cracking strike there for Medeama. And Asante Kotoko need to get themselves back into the game. But this is all that Medeama were looking for. The first goal inside the first 20 minutes. They've got that inside the first 15 minutes. They've got plenty of time to see if they can salvage something. And Asante Kotoko currently having their backs facing their own line, and Samba O'Neill, he was just demonstrating to the referee, at least that the leading up to build up to the goal, he was fouled, and the referee ignored. And a yellow card, I guess, has been given to Henry Ansu for that complaint to referee Gideon Kofi. And for Medeama here, it is an exciting one. A win for Medeama, I see. We see them go top of the Premier League with a lot of point there. Well, then it's been recorded as an on goal there for Medeama's Mano Mante strike. Tell you what, yellow card to captain Samba O'Neill. And so an on goal from Henry Ansu is what officially has been recorded.
Exactly, the deflection was clear. Looks like Samba O'Neill clearly not happy, but the decisions of the referee still complaining and demonstrated.
Oh, not a happy man at all.
It's a very early in the game. Medeama will be very much settled. Kotoko would have to chase the game.
Going straight to Che and expects that 15 starts for Medeama. I see the goalkeeper, Felix Che. A win here for Medeama. I see them on 53 points in the Premier League. And that means they've scored as many as 38 goals and have conceded 20. And again, poor play there from Samba O'Neill. And again, Mano Mante once again. And there's going to be yet another strike there. And it's coming through for Medeama SC.
And God knows Chapasu trying to fancy his chances from a distance. Samba O'Neill clearly caught in that mix there. Couldn't focus and lost control.
Lost it. Again, he's trying to pick Saka Dauda. Got Sulemana to deal with. Sends it to the right hand side and trying to drill one into the box. Gets a corner kick for his effort.
Very good offensive work there from Fatau. Did not budge at the shimmies. Decided to stand firm. Quickly stuck out his leg to make that block. Very good offensive work there from Medeama, and as much as they are in the lead, Kotoko still calmly building up and creating most of the dangerous opportunities.
Trying to get the balls in at the best of control there from the Porcupine Warriors, and so they find themselves trailing and looking to get something out of the game. And Medeama comfortable playing the ball just around themselves and trying to get a lot of men forward once again. It's always going to be the likes of Mubarak and Amu and Sulemana here. The left full back, and anytime he's charging forward, he's looking for space there. And it's always going to be Asante Kotoko conceding yet another set piece right in front of the 18-yard box, and Kevin Obing is the one who was brought down.
So clearly, Henry Antu, this is what I spoke about. Medeama would want to work around the robust and rugged nature of Kotoko's defense. Antu, Zakaria, clearly the extension of the arm on Obing's shoulder. And we're going to the tackle to try to win the ball by the excesses would always give free kicks away.
Well, the young goalkeeper Zidari picked the ball just in his own net and just picked two against Samatex. He's picked up yet another one here. Salim is always going to fancy this one, isn't he?
That's quite closer, any one of them. But I'm sure Salim Adams knows that from this territory he must be able to hit the target at least.
He's done that a couple of times. As is Dari trying to make sure the wall is pretty much intact. And there you have it. It's going to be Suleiman that drops it down. Salim Adams! But not what he was expecting.
It was quite surprising that with his technique and his ability, his hitting, that was wayward. That was a miscue, an unpardonable one.
Good defensive header there from Suleimana.
That is clearly the intention of Kotoko to go long. Then they must be ready to deal with the physical and aerial qualities of Amu and Mubarak. Donzo would have a lot to do to battle those out for the long balls being sent to him.
Amu here for Kotoko. Medeama really have been very strong at home. They've scored as many as 25 goals at home, highlighting the very strong nature. And once again, they have to lose possession. Fuzi Taylor, and well read there by Ansu. And Joe again just being hacked from behind. God knows Chapasu.
That was a good steal there from Fuzi Taylor on Saka Dauda. But thankfully, Henry Ansu making that block. Joe hasn't really glittered, and it's always been easy stopping Kotoko from playing. Once Joe is pushed away from the central attacking areas where he's more dangerous, he becomes very, very limited as an influence in the game in favor of the Porcupines. And that's exactly what Chapasu and Fuzi Taylor are trying to do, push Kotoko and Joe deeper into their own house.
And again, the flag really got up against Dogo. Oh, just highlighting Medeama's strong home dominance. Yet again, that's a foul, the offside. So before the game there, Medeama had scored 24 goals at home. They're followed by Young Apostles with 23 goals and Dreams with 22. But now Medeama scored a goal here, makes them 25 goals at home in the Premier League. Joe and that of Che just bumping into each other. Yeah, I'll say, Medeama centrally, he finds Salim, turns well. Salim was looking for space, and it's always going to be the Medeama see him. Kevin would have the feeble shot picked up by Dari. Here comes Samba O'Neill looking for some bit of support up front for Asante Kotoko. And the Porcupine Warriors do have Saka Dauda. Just been brought down, and Emmanuel Kote would want to find a way to deal with this one for Asante Kotoko. Samba O'Neill picks up the ball here, looking to have, but again, it's very far away from Constantine Yabok there to Medeama, and quickly Kotoko would have to give possession away. The goal scorer Manuel Mante.
That was quite a poor decision there.
Again, that's the foul there by Yawase. He's gone down with a challenge of Joe. Again, you talk about the work rate of Asante Kotoko. Yakubu Dogo is making his fourth appearance there for Asante Kotoko, the Premier League.
It's quite surprising playing him from the flanks again. Hasn't really been efficient playing there. Maybe right behind the target man is where he fancies his chances. Playing ahead of Tamidu Akwa, Philip Amo. Babaya was quite a surprise. That's another waste of the set piece by Medeama again. They're not making it count. The spectator by now. One of the set pieces could have forced the save from Aziz Dari.
After 14 home games, Medeama just picked up 9 wins. We spoke about the 4 drawn games and losing 1. Total 31 points. At home, Sakadauda, and given a chance here, has got Suleiman once again, tracking him and blocking almost all the supplies, maybe to get the ball back into the box. Kote, and he wins it, not able to recover quickly to pick it up now. And Suleiman will push it out, and Medeama will keep possession once again. The move in yellow. Now beginning to attack Asante Kotoko. So it's going to be, I would say, looking to advertise something into the box there, and it's been brought down. The referee says it's definitely going to be a foul. Once again, Kotoko giving very needless fouls, and a yellow card once again. And Asante Kotoko have had to get 2 players. And Yakubu Dogo, he had a foul on same player. I would say he was not penalized, and this time he has to take the yellow card. Asante Kotoko have 2 players been shown the yellow card after just 26 minutes.
That's quite a late challenge there from Yakubu Dogo, trying his best to pick up on that loose end. I'll say very good run from him. Then a lot of Medeama faithful were quite worried. Kamaradini Mahmudu, who had been arguably their best right back, was moving out to Libya. I think I'll say has fit in perfectly. So opportunity for the 2 sets of teams to quickly refresh themselves. Tanko still has a lot to say to his team. Clearly not happy with the control, and for Asante Kotoko they've had, the better control of the game, but decision making in the final third has always been questionable.
There's a bit of talking to be done there by both coaches, and he's talked about the setup. He knows how strong Asante Kotoko would definitely come into the game with. And you talk about the tactics there from Yao say where he had to make sure that Samba O'Neil sit right in front of the back line. But for Medeama, all they needed to do was to get their wingers really spreading pretty wide and get the balls into a very good position to get the goal.
And I quite don't understand that you need to be playing cross-field balls, long balls, when actually you have players who can carry the ball, move the ball. You have Losinche, you have Ibe Joe, Samba O'Neil, Yakubu Dogo wants the ball to be played on the ground. Marfin Donzo, with his hold-up play, would need someone to be picking up on the scraps. But Kotoko don't have that man yet. So you'd expect them to at least take it calm, build up and get into the final areas. You can see the complaint from Samba O'Neil when Saka Dawda lost the ball, leading to this particular foul. He needs to hold up play. He needs to go, have a go at Fatau Sulemana. It was quite missing from the modern game players who would actually take the ball to the defenders. Nowadays you trust Chastela will not retreat.
Well, Mano Mante would love to celebrate this goal, especially seeing that Medeama would have a chance to get something out of this game here. And they have a set piece just right closer to the 18-yard box once again. Asante Kotoko will have to find a way to defend the lines. It's been a very difficult moment. Asante Kotoko really have failed to have a shot at goal. And to see a lot of moving yellow players in the box for Asante Kotoko to defend this one. Medeama have scored 5 goals in the last 5 matches. It's going to be their 6th game, and so they've scored 6 goals in the last 6 games. So Asante Kotoko would have to find a way. Fuzi Taylor behind the ball, lifts one into the box, and oh, that is brilliant! Absolutely phenomenal from Kevin Obeng. 2-0 for Medeama.
That was a very brilliant delivery there once again. Fuzi Taylor whipping it in, an outswinger with his right foot, and Kelvin Obeng working his neck muscles after that leap to connect beautifully beyond the ridge. Overseas, Aaron Nadari, look at that delivery. He stepped up, and that was it there, close to the goalkeeper. But he stretched to his elastic limit. It wasn't too close to him. You can blame the marking was quite poor inside the box. Zakaria Fuseni losing his man. But Kelvin Obeng was always going to get that on target, and Medeama have a cushion.
They are conquering everything. It is Medeama SC on a high note here at the TNA Park. Kevin Obeng with the second goal for Medeama SC. They have a cushion now. Asante Kotoko have a long way out in this game. They haven't really been on their groove there. Yakubu Dogo and trying to let one to Morfin Donsu. He's been more like a ghost in the game. Hasn't really seen plenty of the ball. Just right in front of the 18-yard box of the home side. And Asante Kotoko, Zakaria bit into it once again. Salamo with the ball here. Medeama looking for a third. And so they're still going to have Enrianzu coming in. And Salam holding on to the ball just in the 18-yard box. Looking for a bit of support there on the line and gets a corner kick.
That is quite very good play there from Salam. He did not have the support he wanted. He decided to just hold up play and invite more Medeama SC players into the fray, but he still wasn't getting it. Enrianzu had to step in to make that. Talent, confidence growing up. Medeama finding the spaces to exploit. I think just before that was quite a nasty acrobatic kick from Zakaria Husseini. Kelvin Obey escaping a yellow card. It's very much lucky.
There's going to be some bit of a reaction there from Asante Kotoko. Well, the very first game played at the Babayara Stadium, Medeama scored 2 goals in the first half, and Asante Kotoko left it late to draw the game 2-2.
That was in Babayara. This is the TNA.
But it is 2-0.
And it was the away side who went up twice. And this is the home team that has gone up twice.
But
so
the momentum. The same thing. Medeama getting 2 goals at halftime. And so now they have 2 goals with the corner kick being floated wide.
This time as the home team.
And
so
they have 2 goals.
Exactly. The last time they were the away team with 2 goals.
Yeah, and the home team with 2 goals.
I think that this time the advantage may go their way. They have the 12th man. Yeah, the fans.
Even in Kumasi, they didn't have the 12 man, but they got the 2 goals at the first half.
That is why they let it go. But at home, they have all it takes to continue scoring more. Kotoko in 6s and 7s, struggling to figure out what to do.
Enrianzu. Before the game, Medeama SC and Kotoko had accumulated same number of 0.5 in the last 5 matches. Medeama now has got 2 goals, and so they have 7 goals in 6 games. And Asante Kotoko, a lot of space up front here. Saka down that, bringing it back, looking for some bit of an advert into the box. And again, Amwa's ball to Yakubu Dogo, brings it down, and Hubert Jehu couldn't quite get it to it. And so Kotoko may have a corner kick to the advantage.
The referee says Ghanian and Kofi and his assistant just to give a goal kick. They fell. The final tag came off Hubert Jehu. Yakubu Dogo clearly not happy with that aerial deliveries. Who wants the ball to his feet?
So you probably want to say that Asante Kotoko missing the likes of Albert Amwa, because they didn't really come into the picture with percentage of ball possession now to the advantage of the home side. And they have another cushion here. Can they get a third? It has happened. Salim Adams has made it 3-0 for Medeama inside 34 minutes. And this is becoming a nightmare for Asante Kotoko. This is a game of hallucination for Asante Kotoko, and he can't find the answers.
He's being battered by his former club. Absolutely brilliant play down the right-hand side of attack. Shrugged up that. Press from Enrianzu. Needed a slide. Calvin Obey knew exactly where to find Salim Adams. And once he got into the penalty area, it was laid on the plate for him. Tapping home shouldn't have been a problem. And that is brilliant. Emmanuel Kote, Zakaria Husseini, all lost in track and back. And it was quite easy for Salim to tackle. All the work done by Kelvin Obey. Excellent forward. And he's actually taking up the mantle from Kelvin and Nkrumah brilliantly to help Medeama win games.
This man is unstoppable in the Premier League. Salim Adams, 7 changes Asante Kotoko made to this game after losing to Samatex. Hamzata Musa out, Patrick Asiedu out, Albert Amwa out, Babayaya out, Adam Inusa out, Peter Miduakwa out, and Prince Bedu out. And Asante Kotoko just are not able to recover from the shock defeat to Samatex, and now they are down by 3-0 with the introduction of Yakubu Dogo, Morphin Donsu, Saka Dauda, Joseph Amwa, Chaimenu Lawson, Hussein Zakaria, and Henry Kwame. This changes has nightmarized Asante Kotoko against Medeama.
This is quite a breaking chemistry, quite a breaking flow. When Kotoko made those 6 changes, it was always not going to go their way. It looks like Chaimenu holding on to his groin. He may not be able to continue.
This is a game over for them.
As Ali Daisy, if they're able to get at least a consolation in this half, could spur them on to come back in the second half and get a couple more, just like they did in the first leg when Medeama were 2-0 up. Out of the TNA, this is a Herculean task. Doesn't look like Lawson Chaimenu Jr. can continue with the game. Clutching onto his groin area. He may not be able to finish the opening half. It's one of the youngsters Kotoko looking up to for the future. But clearly has been battered by Medeama's quality midfield this particular game. Virtually no answers for himself. Sambo O'Neill and Hubert Joe. Or Prince also might be thinking, did I make a mistake in making the wholesome changes?
Go score, Salim Adams, yeah. Again, charging on the right-hand side is Medeama SC. And you have the like of Yawase, and the ball really crossing the line. Becoming one-way traffic in the game, isn't it?
Clearly, Medeama in total control of this. Kotoko have virtually no answers. And Salim Fuzitela coming to play. And finding the channels. Kotoko seems extremely loose. There's no compactness. And the long balls are being played to Medeama. SC's advantage. Kotori is going to be quite difficult for them to beat. Jacob Abu Mensah and Mubarak Yusuf, as well as Salim. Even Fuzitela battles very well aerially. Just look at the distance between the press from Donzo and Kotoko's midfield. Acres of space for Medeama. Luxury for them to build up.
Well, the win for Medeama, that was what they were looking for, and a bit with the second goal. And Kote has also been a little bit lethargic in the game, especially with his position. Morphin done so with the control here. And Dogo in the box and looking to turn on the left. Dogo! Once again, it's to the crossbar, and it's a corner kick with a fingertip to it by Felix Che.
Fantastic save there by Felix Che. Sharp reflexes, brilliant play from Dogo. Look at that. That was quite a leap to make a touch to that ball. I'm sure it would have grazed over the crossbar. And clearly, this is what Dogo wants, the ball to his feet and not aerially.
Theo want to find themselves in the game. Asante Kotoko to the near post. Togo once again not able to control well, and Medeama will have to have a hefty put onto the ball. And Kevin Obing once again wins the aerial tackle. The last 5 minutes of the game to play for the Porcupine Warriors. Cozy Taylor, the provider of the second goal. Kotoko drop into the 5th position with 43 points. Medeama also moving up. There's 10 points above Asante Kotoko Medeama SC.
Again, Kotoko giving chip fouls away. To see Kote there a bit frustrated.
Cozy Taylor. Sulemana. Mante. Not a comfort with which Medeama shooting the balls. And Asante Kotoko struggling to win it back, and Medeama would have to get their goalkeeper involved. And there's going to be a foul against Asante Kotoko.
Kotoko having a lot to chase.
Again, it seemed to be a little bit of a confusion there, and there's a red card to one of the technical men of Asante Kotoko.
That is the team manager, Frank Boateng. He's just replaced Amos Frimpong, the former captain of the team, who has moved on to pursue other opportunities.
Downso finds Kote here, Sulemana on him.
Also quite a strong challenge there from Fatal Sulemana, not giving anything to chance.
Asante Kotoko now have to have O'Neill looking for Armour, dragging one to Morfin Donso. Poor control there from the centre forward.
Well, decision making from him was quite poor. We expected him to go in with the right foot to keep it quite close. Decided to go with the left foot. And with the speed of the ball from the captain, really trying to play it in between the lines. Just gave it away.
Tells you how Coach Taku Ibrahim set the team up for this game, and he spoke extensively about them having control of the ball and making sure that they draw Asante Kotoko out of the defensive line and hurt them where they least expected, and they've really done that. So it's been a very comfortable first half there for Medeama SC.
There's a game of football. When you have your opportunities, you need to make them count, and as much as you may not be the favorites in terms of, holding up the ball and possession, that is what Medeama have made count. The opportunities that they had, they capitalized on it. They had Kotoko right in the moment when they were actually in control and looked more like the more dominant team.
Zakaria, Samba O'Neill on a yellow card. You really have to be very careful. Yeah, I'll say. He's got a lot of blitzing pace on the right, and the step over is there. Osei and try to go solo. Again, 2 minutes by the time we are picking the signals from the fourth official.
So distant run once again by Osei by the final decision and execution, little to be desired.
Well, that's a confirmation of the additional time. And once again, Asante Kotoko without Van, the goalkeeper. Just coming back in the game. So it's going to be a very tough one there for the Pokemon Warriors into this game. And they haven't been able to come back and show their prowess in the game, and Dogo pulled through on the right-hand side. And Suleiman has been very solid, looking to prevent him from getting the balls into the box, and there's always going to be Mubarak, who's the header here. Amwa. Sakadauda. And the sort of influence we expect from Sakadauda in the game hasn't really come to the table yet. Amwa not really delivering the sort of crosses that Asante Kotoko need in the box. Yet again, the mauve and yellow side will have to now move some Salam on the ball here. In waiting centrally is Kevin, looking for some of support. Tracks the ball back, delivers to Kevin, and then Kevin! Good save. Was left all alone in the 12-yard area and decided to go spectacular on himself, and Aziz Dari was there to pick it up as Asante Kotoko once again showing your weakness in defending their goal area.
It's quite surprising they're chasing the game. And Medeama have left most of their dangerous players upfield. They only need 2 or 3 passes. Well, strung together. That was quite a distant opportunity for them to head a fourth.
There comes Yakubu Dogo. Suleimana really stayed positive, and Mano Kote here. O'Neill. I was looking for some space as Asante Kotoko looking to hit something here. Kote advertised a cross into the box, and nobody in particular to deal with it, a corner kick. And Sakadauda was just miles away from attacking that ball.
That has been the difficulty, even with the deliveries, the number of players you see, and their positioning to even attack the ball. Sakadauda way off. No one attacking the deliveries. And it's given Medeama that luxury of time and space to clear the ball.
Well, so the story here is that the gold-plated match week 29 match between Medeama SC and Asante Kotoko has lived up to the billing. The home side Medeama SC exposed Asante Kotoko. Manuel Mante with the first goal and Kevin Obeng with the second, and then it was really sealed by Salim Adams. This is the story. Asante Kotoko have come to Medeama to tell their fortunes in the Ghana Premier League, but they will have to come back in the next 45 minutes. But already this man tried his luck there, was grazed the crossbar, and a red card already shown to the team manager of Asante Kotoko. At halftime here at the Takwa TNA Park, it is Medeama AC3, Asante Kotoko 0.
Perfect game from Medeama. That was exactly what they wanted. As you can see, a little bit ahead of Kotoko in possession, but making count of the corner kick and the shots very much well on target. Kotoko have failed to register any shot on target, and it's actually been a perfect game. Efficiency at its peak for Ibrahim Tanko and his men, and that was what all they needed to make the game count for themselves. It's actually been quite a good game, and Kotoko would be rearing their stars and we can't. Why did they make so many changes to the setup?
Unbelievable scenes here at the TNA Stadium. Guess what? First 45 minutes done and dusted. And Medeama are leading Kotoko by 3-0. That is incredible. I've been joined by the assistant coach of Medeama, Pius Gria. Pius, I mean, do you think that first goal, that early goal you scored, actually did the magic for you?
Well, I think each moment counts in the game. So I think picking the goal from the 15th minute, I think that's worth a lot. And then we worked for. So we need to I think it was a gateway. So I think I'm not surprised. We just hadn't, and I think both teams are playing very good football, and we in to win this game.
You are leading by 3-0. Does that make it done and dusted for you in the second 45 minutes? And how are you going to approach that?
Well, it's not done. If I should say it's done, then I think I'm not being real to the game, because each moment counts in the game. I think Liverpool, AC Milan, 205, that incredible comeback, So we changing nothing, but we rather have to add more urgency and energy in order to make sure we're not going to be complacent, make sure the game is done.
Well, we thank you very much, Pius Gura. He is the assistant coach of Medeama SC. I'll be joined by the goalkeepers coach of Kotoko shortly, that is Joseph Ba, to actually assess the first 45 minutes. They are down by 3-0 and not a good one for the Porcupines, who are aiming to close the gap on those at the top. So let's see what happens in the second 45 minutes. But I've been joined by the assistant coach, not the assistant coach, the goalkeepers trainer of Asante Kotoko, Joseph Ba. Joseph, I saw you and the entire bench raging in disagree with how the first goal came about. What was really the issue?
Yeah, really we thought it was a foul against the Medeama player, but that is football. The referee decided to play on, so.
Okay, but you consider 2 more goals. Do you think your team has been slow with the start that they had?
No, I think we lose a little bit of focus, and that causes the 2 goals. So, the first half is for them. The second half, we are going to see how best we are going.
Just like in Kumasi, they took a 2-0 lead, then you guys came back.
Yeah.
Do you still hope? Are you of the view that you can still come back with the quality you have?
That's our hope. That we can.
So what needs to change in the second half?
I think we have to get more men up front, and we don't have to give them space in the middle. That is the only thing. We have to get more men up front. And
Joseph Ba, thanks very much, and we wish you the very best for the second 45 minutes. But the assistants, Asante Kotoko, are down by 3 goals here at the TNA Stadium. It hasn't been an easy one for them, but they are hopeful of coming back strong in the second 45 minutes. We'll take a quick breather here. When we return, Jeffrey Asari will join me for the first half analysis. Welcome back from that break. We're still here at the TNA Park, and it's a break that Kotoko needed because they've not been in this game at all. First 45 minutes done and dusted, and you're losing by 3-0. My name is Mutala Yakubu. This is TV3 on your TV. It's the Ghana Premier League. Jeffrey Asari here with me. If I was one of the Kotoko players, I would wish the halftime whistle had come early because they've never been in the game from minute one.
I mean, you are talking about Asante Kotoko being trounced 3-0 first half in the whole of the season. I mean, they've not suffered that. And matches between the two of them. But that is excellent, compact play, fluidity, intelligent finishing, very clinical of Medeama. That is what they, like I said, that is what they are supposed to do today. They need to win at all costs. What they did was to stamp their authority, play with intensity, and authentic, excellent display of technical ability of the players to make sure that they have to stamp their authority, get the 3 points so that they come back to the league log. That is exactly what they displayed.
Now let's go through the goals. I mean, the first one came very early. It was a deflected effort, one that Aziz Dari could not have done anything. Even though the Kotoko faithfuls are complaining that there was a foul in the process, I mean, Medeama would take this one home. Deflected effort. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do.
I mean, look, for me, that is what players are told. When you get into the box, make sure you blast a shot. Anything can happen. That is what happened. And the shot was blasted by Manuel Mante, one of the finest midfielders in the league. Blasted the shot. Henry Ansu, at that time, Kelvin Obin was having an issue with Henry Ansu. So Henry Ansu was not bodily positioned well. Which is a good thing, you give it to Kelvin Obin. So the ball deflected Kelvin Obin, and then the ball went into the net. Goalkeeper Aziz Dari has positioned himself to get the shot from Manuel Mante, but unfortunately the deflection changed the direction, and that went to the goal.
Of course, and it looks like the partnership between Salam and Kelvin Obin is working to perfection, especially with the hold-up play of Salam and the eye for goal from Kelvin Obin. I can say that Tanko has gotten it right.
Whoa. Salam, brilliant.
Yeah.
His ability to control the ball, hold that play, make sure that he had the right personnel in the box, crosses at the right time, and he's always blocking the Kotoko defender to make sure that he has upper hand of the ball. That is the role the coach has given, and he's played out perfectly. And the second goal was put on a plate for Kelvin Obin. You don't give him that much space. It came from a set piece after the Medeama player was brought down by Dogo. Then that free kick came in swiftly from Fuzi Taylor. Kelvin Obin, even though he had a player behind him, that header was beautifully planted beyond Aziz Dari. Yeah, but I always say this. The quality of the Fuzi Taylor, check the free kick, he hit the side of the ball. The ball was rolling. Now when the ball is rolling, all you need is a little touch or a flick or a thumping. In this case, it was a thumping header, and there was nothing you could do about it. That was zoomed straight into the ball. Because the nature of how the ball was kicked make it difficult for any goalkeeper when the header is applied. Brilliant. And you know Fuzi Taylor, when it's his element like today, you know you always give it the quality.
Now at this point, the question that many were asking in and around the stadium was how would Kotoko get back into the game? Then the third goal happened. I mean, it was some lackluster defending from Asante Kotoko. None like them. And I could see their coach, Prince Owusu, very, very enraged by how they defended this one, especially with Kelvin Obin traveling all the way with the ball.
Yes, with the
had
ball.
Time to pick up a man in the box with Salim just.
Yes.
Should I say it was an empty net?
Yes, it was an empty net. By him, the coach should know. So when you are making selections, you know that you don't bring Samba Lone to the midfield. He's your best defender, the leader and organizer. He should be at the center back. When he's at the center back, it reduces these unfortunate, terrible errors.
Prior to the game, we were talking about Henry Ansu and sometimes how prone is he to mistakes. And there, he could have stood with Kelvin Obin, go toe-to-toe with him, delay him, but he decided to go down.
Of course, very cheaply and easily. That is unprofessional conduct from a player who has experience, and at this stage you expect the experience and intelligence to enable him to do the right thing. But unfortunately, if you pair Henry Ansu and Zakaria Fuseni, you are going to have a problem. So the coach should have known.
Quick one, do you think they can come back, Kotoko?
Which come back in this game? Well, they might be fortunate to have a consolation, but come back, no.
Well, players, officials back onto the pitch for the second 45 minutes. So our commentators are ready to do the job for the second half. Benjamin Willie Graham and Kelvin Osuansa. See you after the second 45 minutes.
Mining never stops in Takwa, and that is why the Mauve and Yellow will tell you they are looking to put the smiles on the faces of their fans because there's something very juicy coming up. If they are able to keep the momentum up on the Premier League log, it means that the Premier League title might be closer to coming home. But for the fans of Asante Kotoko, being fifth on the Premier League law means that their season is gradually capitulating, and that means that they have to dig and come back maybe next season. But what would be the changing method for the coach? Sometimes he needs to make sure that things work out the way he's waiting for it. It might not be what the fans are looking for. It might be pretty much humid and hot for the fans, but they still need to cool themselves down. For Medeama, it can't be a party mood, because this is the Premier League of Ghana, and this is where the next 45 minutes will define the future of Coach Prince Owusu.
And that is quite going to be difficult. If you tell me his future has already been defined, because he's going to leave at the end of the season, trust you me. His now Coach Kotoko are going to look forward to go the marathon with him. He's just handling things till the end of the season. And, you know, this is a testament that he's not a Coach Kotoko can very well trust to take over for the next couple of seasons. And it's been a battering year, a total annihilation in the opening 45 minutes.
Well, Asante Kotoko really trying to consider some tweaking into their setup. And then we're picking signals that Yakubu Dogo might be pulled out of the game, and in his place there will be taking over that Peter Amidu-Akwa. And so quickly Asante Kotoko really want to respond and respond well. Not the best of first out there for this young man, yet only one shot that rattled the crossbar. He's really played a cameo role. His 4 starts of the season there for Asante Kotoko and lasted just 45 minutes.
Well, clearly quite unfortunate for him. They didn't play to suit his style. And when they started playing to suit his style, it was getting to the ends of the first half. Now they have Peter Amidu, one of their trusted, forward players. And he instigated that Kotoko comeback in the first leg. Well, wait to see if his introduction can spark any positivity.
Medeama not changed, remain same from the first half, and Asante Kotoko just a single change there and looking to respond to the 3-0 they picked up in the first half. There's Felix Che here, the goalkeeper, and his confidence level is just soared because his team is really in a driving seat at the moment.
Sure, he might have come with a different approach now. It's either to go as Medeama trying to get consolation and spark a comeback, or what, as the coaches will say, to shut the shops and limit the damage that could be eventually caused by Medeama.
Sulemana get the left back position, tight and neat there for Medeama. Mano Mante back to Salim Adams. Once again, there's a little bit of control there for the home side, and as they drag the game forward here, Medeama is still looking to find that simple piece of the puzzle there to get the balls into the half there. And so, once again, Dari to Amwa. Amidu-Akwa has been pulled back there by Yawase. Again, it was changes there made by Asante Kotoko in the second half, and they always want to find a way to get the players back into the game. Hasn't really worked to perfection, and Chemenu has been pretty much difficult dealing with it. Morphine Donsu here, but quick defensive work there. Mubarak clearly blocking his attacking move.
Hubejau once again trying to create from deep in midfield. That is what Medeama have done very well, and the teams who have played Kotoko in the last couple of games keep him out of the main action areas, and you limit his impact and influence in the game for Kotoko.
Asante Kotoko has won only once. They have drawn 2 of the games and lost 2 in the last 5 away games. They came in a 2-0 win over Young Apostles and a draw with the Gianna and BBN Gold Stars. And a 1-0 defeat to Karela, as well as 3-1 defeat to Heart of Lions. They're scoring 3 goals and conceding 4 in the last 5 away matches. And now they have conceded 3, making it 7 goals conceded in the last 6 away matches. Mante and gets a quick corner kick in the second half.
He's actually having a very good game. He works tirelessly and he's been everywhere, making sure he waits possession and starts to build up the attack. It's been their first line of creating from midfield. Kotoko are failing to have anything to pin him down.
Well, Sulemana once again has been a very strong force for Medeama in this Premier League season. There's a lot of weight on him in terms of his deliveries into the box and how they have to push it very short in the game here. Sulemana drops one into the box and something's going to be picked up here. Medeama not in a hurry to get the balls in, really trying to still maintain their composure. Mubarak, Yusuf. Kotoko really having a little bit limited number of players who scored their 33 goals in the league. Samba O'Neill is a leading player in the game. He's now playing as a holding midfielder. It's going to be a little bit of a notch on Hubert Joe by Mante.
The outstretched elbow there from Mante, giving that foul away.
Ansu. Amwa. Once again, it's a very poor play there from Amwa after doing almost everything right. Trying to go in with a foul here, but Salam would have to strike off the attack, and it's going to be Medeama once again, and Salim Adams make it 4! A brace for the young man, and Asante Kotoko once again conceding a very, very clumsy goal. Ball lost in the midfield. And when Salam picked it up, he wriggled his way through and found Salim Adams in that case of space. All he had to do was to plant the ball behind the goalkeeper, Zidari, and Asante Kotoko. They have been dusted here. This man simply did the right job. Look at the space there for Salim Adams. He couldn't have missed from this range.
That was a brilliant piece of play there from Salam, shrugging off 3 tackles, showing great strength, picked up the pass. Salim always finding himself in the right position at the right time. Look at that run from Kelvin Obey, opening up the space, and it was easy for Salim to just pluck the ball into the right bottom corner. Brilliant play there from Salam. Great show of strength. And the vision for the pass, easy for Salim. 2 perfectly wet goals for Medeama in the last 20 minutes of the game. And Salim, each time was there to finish up.
He's tactically mastered and outclassed Prince Yawowusu of Asante Kotoko. Ibrahim Tanko not made a change yet, but at least he's found the 4th goal for Medeama. And Amidu Akwa, who was just introduced into the game, hasn't yet found a space to come out and show his prowess. Che here, well, nodded off by Japasu. Again, it's a thinking time. There's a lot of changes that Asante Kotoko are looking to make in Babayaya. I'm hoping he might be getting the call here because it's becoming that embarrassing that for Asante Kotoko. They certainly can't find the antidote.
It's going to be quite difficult, and just like I said earlier, it's now time for them to actually try to limit the damage that will be caused by Medeama. They try to go all out, and then any consequences that could come, either concede more or you cut down on the humiliation.
Salam also trying his luck from long range.
He's actually having quite a very good game. Going to fancy his chance from a distance.
Only looking at Asante Kotoko, might want to think that they're playing with 10 men, but there's nobody here who's been shown a red card. Lost in Shea Menu. Again, a very long ball. It's been headed back into the game. Salim Adams, 2 goals finds Salam. And Salam Abdul. Again, he shuts off yet another attack, and he gets a foul. And as Asante Kotoko once again just can't find a way to stop the marauding rounds over Medeama SC.
He's unplayable. Great show of strength and pace. You can see worries on the face of Kotoko bench. Lost in Chairman, who did his best, but too strong, even from behind. So the nutmeg can look like an opportunity for him to rest. Difficult times for the Kotoko technical team.
Well, really mature young goalkeeper. There's nothing he can do. Just conceding some very difficult goals there. And for Asante Kotoko, they still have a lot of work to do. 15 players have contributed to Medeama's goals in the Premier League. Salim Adams, top scorer for the club. Now he scored 2 goals, making it 8 goals. And Kamaradini Mahmoudou, he's led for Al Hilal in Sudan on 6 goals. Kingsley Bryan and Abdul Salam, they scored 4 goals each. Emmanuel Wusu with 3 goals, and Derry Forjo and Kevin Obeng, he scored today. He scored 3 goals. There's always going to be the mini conference with the players to how they're going to deal with the set piece, and once again it's going to be Aziz Haruna Dari to find a way to stop Medeama from getting a fit goal. Fuzzy Taylor. He's got Salim, Fuzzy Taylor, Salim, Suleimana, all of them in the mix there, but it's going to be Salim to see Fuzzy Taylor. And again pushed away by Haruna Aziz Dari. And Kotoko appear to come out with something. And it appears that once again they have to make a double substitution. That's where the team decided to go with the set piece here. So the double substitution there. Prince Bedu is in. And I tell you what, there's a Hubert Jehu who is going to be pulled out, and Prince Bedu would have to find a way to come in. And also Henry Ansu taking signals is going to be pulled out, yes, and it is going to be Babayaya coming in as well.
Well, it's quite a surprise what he's trying to do, but Prince Bedu comes in to help with some steal, which means Sambo Nell drops into defense as Henry Ansu is substituted. Now Babayaya steps in right behind Murray Findozo to try and create in between the lines. That's probably the ideal setup many were expecting from Prince Yahusu before the start of the game. He's been forced to go back to it.
It's 4-0. Asante Kotoko still not able to create any chance. So far, tell you what, they haven't been able to create any chance that probably would tell you they want to get a goal from it.
And that is all because of the setup, the way and manner in which they approach the game. There was too much space in between the attacking line, especially the centre forward, Murray Findozo, and central midfield, Jau Lawson, were all so far away from him. He couldn't have a distinct shape. Now looking at the distance between the press from Babayaya, Prince Bedu, and then Murray Findozo, it looks more closer than before.
Salim. Samba O'Neill has been fouled there. Kotoko with 41% possession there, 59 to Medeama. Let's get into the second half, and very sad situation as to how the Porcupine Warriors have worked themselves in the game. It's going to be a good win there for Medeama SC here at the TNA Park. Kote. Donsu was the target there. Kotoko picking up possession, and the referee really looking at it for a bit of a foot-high tackle.
Murray Findozo, he's had very little supply, especially as a centre forward. If he's not fed enough, you don't expect him to have any impact. in this game.
In terms of home form in the Premier League, Medeama SC ranked the 4th best in the Premier League. And Babayaya once again is always going around solo on the ball, and it's being crowded out there with Salim Adams. Medeama really have to show some prowess here, and he wants to go in with a strike here, but it's going to be lost in Che. Menu also looking to write his name here. Peru. Another ball into the box and attacked beautifully, and Salim Adams picks it up for Medeama SC, and it's going to be a chase here. And Amwa with a header.
They got rid of the ball there. Medeama with a quick switch as they know exactly where to find Abdul Salam whenever they win possession. It was actually be given Kotoko's defense lots of problems.
Yaosei. Japasu. Fusi Taylor. It's Ghost Stars and Holy Stars. One of the teams in terms of their performance at home. Ghost Stars and Holy Stars lead with 38 and 35 points there. Manuel Mante is likely to be pulled out, picking up some bit of information there. And Japasu would also have to be pulled out as well. And Prince Owusu will likely be the player to be given a chance here, and so that's a change that is coming in. And so Prince Owusu, he really made a huge mark in the match against Medeama United. His introduction changed the complexion of the game, where Medeama quickly came into the game with the goal, at least to change the narrative of that match as well.
What Ibrahim Tako is trying to do with the substitution is to create a lot more control for his team in midfield. Also has that ability to hold on to the ball, dribble, and create chances. So one player who got an opportunity to be with Otoado's Black Stars. And the last couple of games he struggled to make it into the team.
Babayaya, Joseph Amwa, Amidu Akwa, Shayman back to Amwa. Kotoko looking to find space here. Babayaya, Amidu Akwa. Seem to be getting something out of this game, Asante Kotoko, especially with the introduction of the players that the head coach looked to change a lot of things, and Saka Dauda used to combine well with Amidu Akwa some seasons back. O'Neill. And Babayaya. Peter Amidu Akwa. Amwa once again. And here comes for that small space right at the behind the back line again. A very poor play there for Babayaya.
FSU, that ability to spaces. His passing is very crisp. The two players have that pace, have that understanding. Quick switch in between there, but Mubarak making sure he covered the pattern of play with his experience. And it's quite surprising to see Kotoko not having any effort on target after an hour of play.
So Marfin Donsu making his 29th appearance for Asante Kotoko since joining the club. Not scored plenty though, but Kotoko may have a chance now. And so it's not going to be Sakadauda's day, and it's going to be yet another corner kick advantage.
That was quite a brilliant ball there from Joseph Amua. He knew exactly to make that quick pass to find Saka Dauda. Poor touch from Saka to start with, but good cover from Jacob Abumensa.
And Medeama really have kept 12 clean sheets this season, and all coming from Felix Che. This is going to be his 13th clean sheet if it ends this way. And again, ball attacked here, but picked up by Prince Owusu. And Asante Kotoko backtracking at the moment. Salim was trying to look for Fuzi Taylor.
That was quite a poor decision there from Salim. I think he was expecting Fuzi to continue the run. Decided to stop.
Well, this season he's been one of the most exciting players there for Medeama. He's contributed to a lot of goals the club has scored in the season.
He's been one of the brilliant players from his days at Accra Lions. Tanko knows him well. He was his coach. Just when he made that switch, he decided to get him on board, and he's arguably been one of the most enterprising midfielders this season. It became quite difficult for him to try and build up the connection with Manuel Mante. And then Salim after the injury to Emmanuel Owusu. But he's weathered the storm brilliantly.
Che Menu. I was trying to talk to the referee. Probably might have been pushed from behind, a youngster, 17 years of age, with Asante Kotoko.
The 17-year-old shows lots of promise. He's technically gifted. You can see he needs to build up the experience a lot more time. There's a luxury of space. The introduction of Prince Bedu has offered him moving high up the pitch, because he knows he has a very decent cover in Bedu. You can also take Medeama have taken a little bit of the steam away from the game. Not in a rush. The intensity that they played with in the opening stages, they don't want to exert that same level of energy. Don't forget, over the weekend, they play against Dreams FC in the FA Cup.
Yeah, so this really done a lot. Yeah, getting 4 goals. Job done, maybe.
Good more up, yeah.
25 more minutes to go, and so they still are looking to make sure they cement the scoreline. They are probably now looking at what's going to be lying next in the Premier FA Cup. And they play those matches at the Stranger Park. Yeah, I would say Saints 1-in, and lovely connection there from Kevin Obeng. Asante Kotoko do have a player down. Asante Kotoko scoring 34 goals, second highest in the league, and now they have conceded 4 goals. And so that's
to Zakaria Husseini. Good whip there once again by Osei. To Kelvin Obeng, making sure he had at least a touch first to the ball. Kotoko always late to challenge for these duels.
Kotoko conceding 22 goals after scoring as many as
it's clever defensive
as well. But again, it's a very good run there from Asante Kotoko's Marfin Donso, and so they need to really find a way to attack this corner kick. It tells you the demeanor of the players of Asante Kotoko. Really not happy about their scoreline and how they approach the game. Hasn't really been that exciting for them. They seem to have themselves in a very tight area, so they're expecting to see more there. Another ball crossing into the box, and so it's going to be yet another foul here. Asante Kotoko just couldn't quite get themselves out. Salim Adams, the man was brought down.
Seems to have picked up the knock from that challenge inside the penalty area. That is very much okay.
So that's where the foul
That's
came
a
in.
collision between Prince Bedu And Samba O'Neill being sandwiched there, Salim.
Morphin Donso. And now they have possession as they charge forward. And it is going to be an opportunity for the home side to see if a fit goal will be coming in. Suleimana, Fatau. So Medeama once again have to see a lot of other balls that they have made the TNA Park one of the top 4 cheers in the Premier League. They've scored 28 goals so far here and have conceded 9. As Morphine Dons has been given a chance here, and Felix Shea would have to really mop things up for Medeama.
Good goalkeeping, read the situation. Sweeper, keeper, but that delivery. Looking for the run of Dons, a little bit overhead. The service they are doing to the team and the striker, not offering him any opportunity like Medeama have offered Salam to be a lot more times on the ball.
Good chance there for, and that's probably going to be his last contribution to the game. Yeah, I would say. Appears that they may have a substitution coming in, and that's it. He just knew he couldn't really try on the ball there, and so it is going to be Ebenezer Nkrumah who's going to be given a chance here. So that's the final contribution of the right full back.
Clearly a like-for-like substitution there. Not much will change.
And the best of control there from Emmanuel Kote. Mante. Still going to be Asante Kotoko trying to defend their lines here. Possession picked up by Fatal Suleimana. Here comes Fuzi Taylor. Salim Adams. Let's say back to Mubarak. Would have possession. Salim Adams in control. And here comes Asante Kotoko's way of defending the lines, and Prince Owusu couldn't quite control well. And here comes Mante once again. Mante looking for space here. And ball just gone off the line. Is there going to be a corner kick advantage? Yes, it is.
It's quite a surprising decision making between himself and his centre back. They felt that ball was not going to go over the line. He tried to do his best, keep it and play. He was late to it. Nothing seemed to be working for Kotoko. Aziz Dari, very little you can blame him for the goals the Porcupines have conceded today.
Fuzi Taylor. Prince Owusu could pass there to Fuzi Taylor, back facing the goalpost, and there to recycle the ball here. And Salim. Suleimana being pressed there by Asante Kotoko. And Medeama winning back possession. Asante Kotoko again just couldn't get the ball away from them. But again, they still have had to see plenty of possession, Medeama SC, and how they still are hungry for the fit goal.
Prince also there trying to capitalize on that loose control from Lost in Che Menu.
So there's a Wusu. But again, you talk about Amo's contribution so far.
So from trying to do his best to moderate and get himself into a good position, trying to quickly find Marfin Donzo. It's another misplaced pass.
That's just one of these most games in the Premier League where Asante Kotoko have seen some bit of a difficult moment. And we did look into this fixture, knowing that for Medeama it's always going to be party time. They just needed this win so badly, at least the title chase with Gold Stars.
It's quite a positive one for them. A late goal, a penalty in between was very much enough to keep them high up. And Gold Stars had fallen to Ghanian FC just 2 days ago as a match against.
It appears the players themselves have just succumbed to the 4-0 scoreline. They really not aggressive and hungry enough in terms of what they want to do if they have a chance of getting yet another goal back in the game, are they?
Well, there's little opportunity for them to come back into the game. Thinking about how they're going to shut up the shop but not concede anymore. Medeama would like to preserve the energy, try to keep possession a lot more. And if they're able to find the right time, they'll just get a fifth to crown it all up.
With just a quarter of an hour to play for, it's 4-0 for the home side. The momentum of the game may be a little bit down, but for Medeama, they would care none of that. They have the way to show. That's a very cynical tackle there. Absolutely not the best of tackle there. And the yellow card maybe will be Prince of Wusu and Samba O'Neill without a yellow card also flashed to Babayaya.
That was quite cynical, but the reaction from Babayaya, malicious tackle. The players need to be careful. These are the kind of tackles you commit out will be reviewed by the VAR and could possibly be a red card because it was just showing directly onto the knee of Babayaya. That is quite dangerous.
Sakadauda. Babayaya.
Enterprise as much as he spent just
Sakadauda runs again, heads the ball out as Felix Shea who's picked it up. Oh, the likes of O'Neill and Jonsu on field and Kwame Poku, all of them have scored, and Owusu with 3. Oh, the players mentioned here have already contributed to Asante Kotoko 30 goals for this season. It's going to be Aziz Dari's ball.
Salam. Division. Ibrahim Tanko made the quick switch to help augment his attack.
Now it's going to be Asante Kotoko down. And got out.
What he was trying to do. stay out of his goalpost, just onto the edge. Yeah, but very good block. Captain Mubarak Yusuf to push the ball out for a corner kick.
So it's going to be Kevin Obeng, the man who got the second goal. He's just going to be replaced. For Joe and Fuzi Taylor is as we have the rain tumbling down here in the park, and still going to be a conversation here about fighting against Asante Kotoko. He crumbled in this game, and Fuzi Taylor has played his part. He's been
Quite brilliant. He's been
for Isaac Kotoko, and he's 10 minutes of
When the sun rises, there is hope. While this hope lingers on, the citizens look up to the government, the economy, the national development agenda, and every
Especially for a player who's an outside forward, should be looking for goals. And this was a position quite similar to the first leg that was played in Kumasi, where he managed to get the first of the 2 equalizers for Kotoko. So go back, ruin all the bad decisions they've made this particular game.
For George Suleimana on the left-hand side, and Samba O'Neill trying to tame things and calmly control as well. So let me just ask you, what would be the reaction of Coach Prince Yawusu if you asked what really happened in the game?
Well, he's made poor decisions, and I'm sure he's going to accept his fault, just like he did on Monday and Tuesday morning.
Well, Kotoko here, and they may want to find a way out, and what a miss there from Elvis Chebafo.
That was a glorious opportunity for Kotoko to get at least a consolation. Brilliant piece of play there down the right hand side. Good delivery. Look at Pitami Ruokwa, instinctive.
It's just a body position and how he just picked it up, and
he was leaning back.
Yeah,
when he actually had to lean onto the ball and have enough power.
Well, Asante Kotoko have a chance just going wide, and they simply would be asking why the mess here. Salim here. Still Medeama SC. Totally dominating the game. Richard Apia on the left here. Richard Apia fancying something out, and so Medeama may want to find something here, and still not the best of effort there for Salam, who's really done a great job. Abdul Salam just was waiting for his own, isn't he?
Well, a miscue from him, and you could see he's worked tirelessly. Now the attempt to strike the ball clearly shows how fatigued he is to put in all the energy in helping create all the set pieces and Salim's goals.
Three minutes of added time. Well, so for Medeama, they've wrapped up things, and they have really wrapped up brilliantly against a very strong side in Asante Kotoko. So with them, it clearly gives them a very great opportunity in what they want to do. On the Premier League log, they've seen it, 53 points it is there, and just 10 points away from Asante Kotoko, who now dropped to the 5th position. Ghanian Stars picking up a win against Gold Stars, moved them to the 4th. And Gold Stars still sits second with 51 points, 2 points just behind Medeama SC.
It's quite a good victory for them. It takes them high onto the top of the table. At this point in time, they cannot afford to lose in their home games. And that is quite good for any team who wants to win the league. Tearing away from potentials out to Fuken Kotoko 2.
And so they go again, and Nkrumah's ball into the far post, and Abdul Salam was a recipient of that ball, and now he can afford to be like Cheki of Manchester City.
It's time for some petty play there from him. Jacqueline with the ball.
And as this stands now, it's almost a game over. Substitution there for Asante Kotoko, really not changed much, and has got Emmanuel Mante, the man who started the onslaught. And again, it's always going to be a very difficult game. Che Bafo, not a great chance. And Kotoko know that they have seconds away from just keeping the momentum. And yet again, for just being wasted there, Asante Kotoko. And for Medeama, they are not in a hurry to get into the box of Asante Kotoko. He's just counting the clock down. So it was a clash worthy of an enormous and a great stage. This game was served on a gold-plated plate. And so Medeama SC walked onto this pitch with the sky opening up with a great weather condition. It means that preciously they found the 4 goals they were looking for. And Asante Kotoko could just not be able to find themselves out. This man on 9 goals for Medeama SC. And he has shown his prowess as the man who controls the orchestra, the man who conducts the entire choir of Medeama SC. Man of the match, Salim Adams and Samba O'Neill. He was deployed as holding midfielder in the first half, walked back to his main position, but all did not change the narrative, and Medeama walked away with the 4 goals and 3 points. They move up on the Premier League law with 53 points. This is how they want to sum up their Premier League title chase.
Brilliant performance from Medeama SC. If there was any statement that they had to make to erase any doubt of them being Ghana Premier League champions, potentially usurping Gold Stars to it, then this is the game where they've put all doubt to bed. Brilliant performance from start to finish, and making sure that that problem of not beating Kotoko at the TNA Stadium was once again put away. Ibrahim Tanko put together wonderful tactics that make sure Prince also had virtually no answers to. And for him, this is a match that gives them an edge over Kotoko and an edge to win this season's title.
And so it finished Medeama 4, Asante Kotoko 0.
So in the end, it was a comfortable 4-0 victory for Medeama here at the TNA Stadium, beating Asante Kotoko and inflicting a huge defeat on them. So it's back-to-back defeat for Asante Kotoko in the Ghana Premier League. I've been joined by the head coach of Medeama, Ibrahim Tanko. Coach, first of all, congratulations to you. I mean, assess the performance of your boys. How satisfied are you with what you saw?
No, I think we were determined to, keep the 3 points here. I think I said it before the game, and I think, and looking at how we train, like I said, the players they did very well, and I congratulate them. This is a very fantastic performance, especially in the first half.
Now, in the first 10 minutes, it was as if you were giving a lot of wayward passes. Did that early goal you get settle the nerves, and did that do the magic for you?
Yeah, I think in any game, if you get a first goal, definitely you calm down. We are playing home, we want to win by all means, so that's why I think maybe in the first 10 minutes, the players are a bit jittery, but I think after the first goal, they showed their class, and like I said, very well performance, and let's see to concentrate on the next game.
Back on top of the table, 5 games to go. How important is this win?
Very, very important. I said in the last 6 games, every game is like a finals. You have to approach every game, because if you drop a point and your competitors are following you very heavy. So we win this one, we will enjoy it today and tomorrow, and then we have our MTN FA Cup semi-final, and then we see the next game is against, I think, Brecum Chelsea, and then we prepare for that.
Well, Coach, the party has started for you and your boys. You can go enjoy them.
Thank
Coach
you very much.
Ibrahim Tanko, head coach of Medeama, they're full of delight and praise for his team after winning by 4-0 against Asante Kotoko here at the TNA Park, which means that Medeama are back on top of the Ghana Premier League. Remember, it was Gold Stars who were leading up until now that Medeama are beating Asante Kotoko. I will be joined shortly by the head coach of Asante Kotoko, Prince Yao Owusu, who will be telling us what he makes of the game, because it ended in a huge defeat for them. Unlike Asante Kotoko, it means that they've had back-to-back defeats, which isn't good enough for them. Now, before I talk to the Asante Kotoko coach, the most valuable player in today's game, Salim, it looks like anytime I come to the TNA to do a game, he ends up being the man of the match. Salim, first of all, congratulations, Emma.
Thank you very much.
Wabo Paul, one Casano, game we mu komono, na more confidence and we by this huge margin.
Yeah, you know confidence, because we share say baby a league now draw. They say it na ya so, ya more than more, they be say the ball. And you say like you go your home, because you lose points be you say ke lose 20. Yeah, ba game me dey na determine say but then have 3 points in the Oceania.
Of course. Now mo share 3 in the first half. I score like now expect say. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just quite say a bit much about 4 first half. Now second half you ba relax keep game. By nya train when I just say okay. You come na answer for being count.
Say table no more about that top. I got 5 games to go. Who confidence say with 5 games now can move to me a winning a league no.
Yeah, you say game bia you call for 3 points. You call for draw. You call for 3 points. Game bia as a final and you boss say.
Of course. Now, one can say personally, this season, one of the season I watch goals be brave Ghana Premier League. I didn't any work him out.
And one friends hard training and consistency. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's it. Salim Adams, he is the most valuable player in today's game. He has actually done a good job scoring 2 goals today. And I'll be joined by the coach of Asante Kotoko shortly, Prince Yausu. His team has stated defeat here at the TNA Stadium. He's not a happy man. If you see the faces of the Asante Kotoko players, it tells a story. It tells a story of one that they are disappointed in themselves. Prince Yausu, head coach of Asante Kotoko, has joined me. Coach, in the end, he ended the defeat for you. Do you think that early goal you conceded destabilize your team?
Yeah, it's a team that we lost a game over the weekend, and we're trying to put this together. The guys started playing very well, and there's just a foul here. For the referee to take that foul, he disallowed it, and they took a shot for it. And definitely, whoever you are, you're going to go down.
Now, despite this huge defeat, do you still stand by the fact that the tactics you went into this game with was the right one?
Yeah, we tried it, and it didn't work the way we wanted it. It was the right one. We felt the moment, tried to hold their midfielders so that they cannot give those long passes.
Do you think your title dream is gone?
Yeah, it is gone. It's gone. I can say that.
Prince Yaosu, head coach of Asante Kotoko, saying that their title dream is gone. And this is how we wrap up here at the TNA Stadium. It has been a good one between Medeama and Asante Kotoko. In the end, the minus 1-4 goes to 0. Thanks to the APO team for bringing us this game. And thanks to our commentators, Benjamin Willie Graham and Kelvin Owusu. So my name is Mutale Akubu. This has been the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on Onuya TV. See you for match day 30.
La 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 la.